Hello, everyone. Welcome into Out of Bounds. I'm your host, Lisa Matthews. Thanks for joining us here today. We have a great show ahead because look who we have here, Adrian Peterson. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thanks
How's your
for having
Thursday
me.
going? Good?
Going pretty good.
Pretty
Going pretty good. Can't complain.
All right, this show is all about the fans getting to know you, the real AD, or AP, or whatever you want to be called, I guess.
Either one.
Which one is your favorite, I guess? Clear it up here, because I've gone into some like heated Twitter wars with people.
AD,
AD,
you know, that's the original. You know, it goes back to my hometown. But, you know, I'll say AP as well.
Your family call you?
They call me AD.
Okay, so we're fam now, so we're going to call you AD then.
That's cool.
I'm sure all the fans agree. So they're going to be sending in their questions to you. We'll answer them a little bit later. We have Brandon who's monitoring those right now. I'm sure you're going to get flooded, right? Flooded with questions.
Should be no shortage of questions for AD.
But in the thank you. But in the meantime, we're going to play some games just to loosen up a bit and get the fans to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
All right, the first one is called Fill in the Blank. All right, so I'm just going to read something off, fill it in. Ready?
Okay.
All right. Not too hard. Living with Larry Fitzgerald was a blank experience.
Splendid.
Splendid. Look at that. Did you guys like have coffee in the morning together? I'm just picturing movie nights. I don't know.
We had a movie night.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What'd you guys watch?
I can't remember the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was with Jackie Chan, the new one.
Rush Hour.
No.
Not a classic. No.
Yeah, it was really good though.
The new one. What new one's out?
I think he was maybe like, I think his daughter fell victim to like a terrorist attack, and he went after like trying to find out who exactly did it, and it was intense. It was a really good movie.
Asleep. Too tired. All right, my goal for the rest of the season is to
help this team win a championship.
Nice. I like your answers. Very long, extended. Blank was the thing that surprised me most when I moved to AZ.
Heat. The heat. It's different. It's a dry heat, and so I have to make sure that I stay moisturized and keep my lips some Cormex or something.
I was gonna say, what's your go-to? Do you have like a flavor that you do?
No flavor.
My husband does pumpkin spice right now. I'm like, oh geez. Yeah, got to try that. The potential of David Johnson and Adrian Peterson in the same backfield is
Greatness.
Greatness. That would be crazy.
Yeah, it would.
That's something to watch and wait for.
Yes.
Blank is the hardest part about being an NFL player.
Living in a glass house.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How so?
You know, I think for NFL players or just celebrities in general, just having some type of sense of privacy, you know, you learn to appreciate that, especially being in my position, where the spotlight's kind of on you a little more than the average Joe in the NFL. But yeah, so in that sense.
I know. I just coming up to the bowling event, I had to wait like 10 minutes for an interview with you, just fans. I mean, what has been the fans coming up to you in Arizona, the perception so far from them?
It's been all love, you know, all love and just, you know, appreciation. You know, they're like, you know, some of my encounters are like, oh, man, we're so happy that you came here. You know, you should have been here years ago. You know, just excited just to have you here finally. And so it's been all love. It's been all good.
Do you get tired of selfies?
No, no. It's,
You just have like your go-to look.
You know, I always look at it because I know when I meet people, you know, I'll take that time to take a picture or sign an autograph because at the end of the day, I probably won't see these people again. You know, so it's like I'll take a couple seconds out of my day to, you know, change theirs.
Wow, that's a good way to look at it. All right, next one. My max bench press, oh God, is blank pounds.
435.
Dang. Brandon, can you do that? Yeah.
135 for me.
Really?
That's not too bad.
No, that's not my max, but that's like
I'm asking max.
I think most I've ever done is 210.
Okay.
210.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but the spot was probably generous.
The Color Rush jerseys that you guys wore on Thursday were
Ice water, which ice water is delicious.
okay.
Especially here in this Arizona
Extra
heat.
ice. I always get extra.
Or
I like,
crispy.
I like them. They were nice. I want a jersey. All right, I will have blank family members at the game this Sunday. Everyone.
Yeah, everyone pretty much. Like maybe like 30, between
Wow.
30 and 40 members, and that's me like cutting it low.
You were like, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. How? Because you still live there, correct?
Mhm.
You still have a home there, and then you opened up a gym
Yeah.
there. Okay, so
Got
tell
it.
me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so a year and a half ago, me and a couple partners opened up a gym. It's called O Athletic, and it's in the Heights, Houston, Texas. It's off of I-10 and North Shepherd. So we're open to everyone. So it's not just like a training facility just for players or athletes.
Like I could go. Brandon,
Yeah, you can go, and it's everything under one shop, and that was our whole vision. And when we created O Athletic was to have that one-stop shop. So you got your yoga, you got your UFC ring, the boxing ring, your wrestling mat, you got your 40-yard turf, you got a batting cage, you got
so I could work there because I'm a Zumba instructor.
Oh yeah,
so I can hold a class.
we'll definitely hire you.
Summertime.
What would you say?
Said summertime.
Yeah.
You could do it.
Off-season job. I don't know.
Pick some
We
notes.
should go while we're in Houston, get a workout in.
Yeah, come check out the hill. We have a hill outside.
Oh,
main
no.
hill.
How much?
It's like a 30-degree incline.
How much would it cost to get a workout session in with AD? Like if someone said, "Hey, I want to work out with Adrian,"
you
they
wanna
know
die.
Like how much would they have to pay
For a day?
or just like one workout session with you as like their personal trainer?
Not too much. We can negotiate. You know? Probably won't charge too much.
Does that have to do with Oklahoma? Is that the O? Is there anything to do with that?
No, just kind of like full circle.
Yeah, I
Okay.
see ripping over here.
I don't know if it was some fellow Oklahoma guys.
Well, one of my partners, he's a fellow Oklahoma
Okay.
Sooner.
All right. Do we have any questions coming in?
There are plenty of questions
sure.
coming. All right. So the first question, obviously been through a lot in your career. Sean W. wanted to know what it was like being traded first time it had happened in your career, kind of what was going through your head, takes a little bit through that process, and especially being traded here where you knew Larry, you had Jermaine who you knew as well. So kind of talk a little bit about that if you will.
It was a good experience for me. You know, my first 4 weeks down in New Orleans. Personally, you know, it wasn't the best, you know, when you consider for the football part of it. But life there was great. But the trade really came at a great time for me, you know, because I found myself kind of sitting on the sideline and just like in limbo, like what's going on, you know. So it was humbling, and it just kind of gave me an opportunity to kind of sit back and be more of a coach. But when this trade opportunity came up, it was like a breath of fresh air for me.
You're like, I have so much more to give.
So much more.
Someone.
Just give me a chance.
How quickly did you text Larry?
Well,
Yeah, who texts who first? That's the thing.
he called me. I was on the phone with a close friend of ours, Lou, and then Larry called me. And it was maybe like 10 minutes after I actually found out. So I'm sure he found out around the same time, and he called, and I clicked over, and we kind of chopped it up for a little bit, talked for a little bit. And, he opened his arms and was like, hey, don't worry about anything. I got you, brother.
Here's my home. Pick one of these cars.
I was like, thanks. That really saved a lot, of the stress and just trying to figure out what we were going to do. And it made the transition a lot easier.
Okay, so we kind of transitioning here. Coming up soon next week is Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite food to eat at Thanksgiving?
My favorite food, it would be the turkey and dressing with cranberry sauce, for sure.
And do you make it, or does...
No, I don't make it. Normally Thanksgiving, I kind of sit back and, watch some football and, just wait to dive in.
Yes.
To feast. And wait for the banana pudding as well.
It's not bad. I'm kind of getting hungry right now.
It's so good.
Post-lunch.
I've been ready for Thanksgiving.
We talked about training a little bit. Colin wants to know, what is your favorite type of music to listen to when you're working out? Who'd you go to?
Honestly, I don't really have like a go-to person. Just anything to kind of get me wired up. Nothing really slow, unless I'm feeling it. But majority of the time in the morning when I need something, some techno or something to kind of get my blood flowing. But I'm not one of those guys that that needs music to kind of get going. Once I kind of get into my groove and start working out, I'm kind of in my own zone.
Have you seen that video where it's like different types of football players before a game? Like one's, hyped up, listening to music.
Yeah.
Have you seen that yet? No?
I
I have to well, then you guys won't get it. Never mind.
Maybe after this. You've talked a little bit about Arizona. How does it feel to be here? Like, what's your favorite thing about being in Arizona so far, if you had to pick one thing?
I would say just waking up every morning and driving to work and just seeing the beautiful scenery, just the mountains in the back and the skies, just reminds me, and it should remind everyone, that just how great God is, it's such a beautiful place.
Our sunsets are pretty legit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To me, it doesn't look real still, being from Florida. Not a whole lot of elevation there. So I hope I say this right. Nairn Foley says hello from Scotland.
Ooh.
And you, of course, played 2 games in London, but wants to know what your thoughts are that American football has become a huge sport around the world now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great, and I enjoyed both trips there. We made it in earlier that week. So it was a great experience for me both times. This is my 3rd trip there. And, I love it because we have fans all across the world, so, hopefully we get more international, trips and games.
Is there any place you'd want to play, like, besides London? Are there any other countries that you'd have an interest in playing in? That'd be cool to you.
Dubai.
Oh, yes.
Let's go there.
That'd be crazy.
Have you been there before?
Yeah. It was amazing. Like, I've been a lot of different places, especially here in the United States, and but Dubai is unreal. Like some of the architecture there, and the buildings, and just the culture is one of a kind. I think you have to go there to get the fullness of it. But just seeing some of the buildings there, it was like, wow. I didn't know what to. I knew it was going to be lavish and exquisite, but not to that extent. It's pretty amazing.
I actually have a fan that just texted me from London. His name's Miles. He says, "What's up?"
What's up, Miles?
Ask him what he thought about the British fans that we're a needy bunch. That's what he said to me. I just have to say like how he would. I hope I did right, Miles.
Yeah, I thought the British fans were amazing. Every game I played in, it was sold out. A lot of respect, a lot of love, and they were dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
I think was I ever a home team? I think my first year when we were in Minnesota, I was a home team, and it was so much love and support and energy within the stadium. But the last 2 times I was visitors. So. You hear the team come out and hear them cheering for the home team. It's just like, wow, these guys are really into it.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. But they kind of cheered like throughout the entire game, I felt. Mm-hmm. So even though it was a home team for the Rams, but it was good. Mm-hmm. All right, are you
cut
good
off
for now?
We've just got a bunch coming in, so keep sending in your questions. And
all right, we're going to play another game then. It's called This or That.
Okay.
I don't need to explain this.
This or that.
23 or 28?
28.
Nice. Why?
It's just a number I've always had, so just like to keep it,
consistent.
Keep it consistent.
You tried to get 28 upon your arrival.
It didn't work out.
Conversations.
As planned, so I'd be kind of giving them the eye from time to time.
Ooh.
Over there with my 28 on.
What do you do? Did you just like take the jersey and be like, oh, sorry, I forgot. I'm not.
But I honestly, I think there was an issue with the league as well. So that made the blow not so bad.
I don't think you could do it in season. I read somewhere. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I think it would have been a little easier if he was like, like a bag up or something like that.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case.
Maybe off season. Figure it out.
Oh, I will be getting it back.
Juking a defender or breaking a tackle?
Juking a defender.
Mm-hmm. More touchdowns this season, you or your son?
Me.
How many?
His season is over.
Oh, okay. Well, dang, that's not fair.
He ended up with 7 in his championship game. He scored a pick six.
Dang.
Yeah, it was pretty
Little
sweet.
Stud. Your family is like just totally athletic all around, right? Your mom was a track star.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad played basketball.
Yes.
So just inevitable
It's
that
in my blood.
it's in your blood.
Yeah.
That's pretty. Did you do track? Did you run track?
Love track. My
Yeah.
second love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basketball.
Basketball, yeah, you know.
Your dad's like,
I was a good rebounder defense. I gave about 10 points, you know. Most of them, majority
Take the
of them were
charge.
layups.
Do you have a sport your son would play? Besides football?
He likes soccer. He told me the other day that he wants to be a soccer player.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Right.
Prefer playing indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors.
It was nice with the roof open last week. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do much of it. Touchdown or 100 rushing yards?
100 rushing yards.
Okay. Touchdown, just
Touchdown, yeah. They're cool. I think they're more, I think the fantasy owners
yeah.
like the touchdowns
Definitely.
more, but I'll stick with the yards.
This one's Thanksgiving themed. Mashed potatoes or baked mac and cheese
Baked
with
mac
bacon
and cheese.
and green chilies and toasty.
Mhm.
Okay, I sold
Yeah.
it. I sold it.
Oh, yeah.
Which one did you want him to pick?
I mean, obviously. Okay, any more questions?
Of course. So you talked a little bit about traveling. Jono wants to know, are you planning to travel with Fitz, and would you be interested in coming to Australia? He didn't say if he was going to open up the red carpet for you, but he said, when are you coming with Larry to Australia?
It's funny.
Yeah, sell it.
It's funny you say Australia because when you asked about the destination as far as the NFL teams playing international, that was like the first place that came to mind. But yeah. If I can get away, from my wife can let me escape for a week or so. I'll definitely join Fitz wherever he goes. But it's
Where
gonna be
does he have
hard doing
left?
that.
Where else can he go?
I watched the documentary. I have no idea where he has left. So Thomas was kind of playing into the theme of fill in the blank earlier, and he said blank is the most fun part about the guys in the locker room.
Personalities, the different personalities.
Who has the strongest one, would you say? that
The
you've done?
strongest one? It's a good one. Oh, Jermaine Gresham has a pretty strong
Yes, he
personality.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does. He always has me laughing.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Have you had one teammate that you would say is like by far the funniest, most entertaining,
That's here?
or just overall
In
in
general?
your career?
Yeah. I'll probably say Everson Griffin. He's like, I don't know, Mr. Energizer Bunny. But I don't know. He's always wired up. He always has something to say. He wears emotions on his shoulders, and he's just genuine. Just a genuine guy. Just funny guy.
Interesting. Speaking of entertaining, Patrick wants to know, do you have a favorite TV show? And this is not Patrick Peterson, by the way.
Do I have a favorite TV show? I would say The Blacklist.
Love
and-
the Blacklist.
Yeah, The Blacklist and How to Get Away with Murder.
Okay.
Two solid.
Yeah,
Solid ones.
I'll have to watch
I'm
those.
so behind on Blacklist, but I love it.
it's so good.
So good. You don't watch Blacklist?
I don't watch Blacklist. I'm sorry. We have more questions to get to, though. And Matt wants to know, before coming in the NFL, were there certain players that you watched and admired growing up?
Yeah. Growing up in Texas, I grew up a Cowboys fan. So Deion Sanders was a guy that I love watching. Emmitt Smith, LT, him being from LaDainian Thomas, being from Waco, that's not too far from my hometown. So he was a guy that I looked up to as well. The Moose, Bruce Johnson. There's a lot of Cowboys.
Yeah.
A lot of Cowboys, but running backs, Eddie George was a guy that I really loved watching because he was a taller back, and always got that, you're too tall, you run too high comparison. So he was a guy that I looked at and was able to say, hey, he's 6'3", 6'4", and he's doing a good job of playing the running back position.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Yeah, that's pretty much about it.
What about any guys you watch now and some of the younger guys coming up? Anyone you kind of look to mentor or even just really enjoy watching that are currently playing?
Mm-hmm. I like watching Hopkins. We're actually playing him this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, he's starting to find his way. Barnett, he's a guy that you know, I've been waiting to get to this level just to see how things pan out for him. Todd Gurley is a guy that you know, I try to mentor, and when I have the opportunity to talk to him, just try to give him some knowledge. And Melvin Gordon, a lot of guys, a lot of running backs, that these younger guys that I like to kind of, you know, shape if I can, and you know, give them any type of information that they might need, or I feel that will be helpful to those guys. And but yeah, playing with Fitz too. You know, he's a guy that I remember my first time meeting him was in high school at Touchdown Club of Ohio, and I remember saying, I was like, wow, it's Larry Fitzgerald of Pittsburgh, you know, like best receiver I've ever seen, you know. So now being able to play with him, and you know, just being motivated to not only win a championship for me, but you know, for him, you know, as well, and you know, of course all other teammates, but you know, just focusing on guys in the league that I love to watch as well. You know, he's one of them.
What about you get to work with David Johnson?
Yeah.
Obviously, he hasn't been healthy yet, but what do you see if you watch any film of him and kind of getting to talk to him? What are your thoughts on, you know, getting to talk to him every day too?
Yeah, I think he has so much potential, and I feel like there's some untapped talent in there as well, and you know, that says a lot.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, you think about the things that he has accomplished already. You know, so you know, I've been sitting back taking notes, and you know, getting ready to kind of give him some information, and you know, just stay on him, just show him how things are done. You know, and how I've done things, and how I was able to be, you know, somewhat successful for, you know, over a decade now.
And
you
how
know,
much
so.
you probably appreciated that too when you were coming up in the league. Cool.
We'll get to one more here from Luis. He wants to know, how much does aggressive running style like yours influence the play of the offensive line?
Oh, it's a big influence. You know, when you see a guy coming in running 100 miles per hour into, you know, the opposing defense, you know, you're always aligned. Those guys are wired up, you know. They really get their shoulder pads set and get going, you know. So I felt like it's always been motivating to see a hard runner.
How did that running style kind of develop? Was that just always you growing up,
you know,
the ball, or over time?
When I first started playing football, Little League, I was kind of timid. You know, I was faster than everyone, so I was always trying to run and avoid contact. And then my dad, you know, he noticed that. So in practice one day, he made me lay down on my back and had a defender maybe like 5 yards from me, and he blew the whistle. The defender was standing up, and he told us beforehand, when I blow the whistle, you hop up and you guys run right at each other. You know, I don't want you to shake or anything. You guys try to run this guy over. You know, so I'm laying on my back, and I'm already like, he's at an advantage, you know. Yeah. So I hop up and re-sprint, and we just collide and hit each other. And it was just like that. That was kind of like the, you know, knocking the rust off, and like, okay, bam, I'm going to make sure that, because the guy kind of got the best of me on that play. So from that point on, I was like, you know what, even though I'm the offensive player, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to lay the boom on the person. You know, instead of being the person being hit, I'm going to be the one that attack, the aggressor.
Wow. And your dad was your coach, right, for a little bit? That's cool.
For a little bit, yeah.
Cool, awesome. No more? I'm sure there's plenty.
There's a bunch more, but I
I'm
know
sure
Adrian
you
doesn't
could be here.
have
This could be
literally
an
all
hour
day.
show. Yeah. Well, we like to leave the show with a little message to the fans. Obviously, thank you for sending all your questions in, but a little something you want to leave them with before heading back to Houston?
Yeah, you know, thank you for taking the time out your day to you know, to ask the questions. I really enjoyed it. I look forward to continuing to win games here for the state of Arizona and Arizona Cardinals. And I just ask that you guys continue to support us, because we're going to need you guys to make this run, get into the playoffs, and then let things go from there. So love you guys. Keep supporting us, and I'll see you again soon.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Thanks, B. As always, we'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving.